This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away from 16th to 20th of January 2018 in the United States. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Dorothy Malone, she was born in January 1924 and she died in January 2018. Her age was 93 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Dorothy Malone was an American actress, a star of Hollywood's golden age. She won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in Written on the Wind and was also known for her role as Constance Mackenzie in the television series Peyton Place. Malone had a long and successful career in film and television. Allison Shermer, she was born in October 1963 and she died in January 2018. Her age was 54 at the time of her death and the reason for her death were complications from cancer. Allison Shermer was an American film producer, a highly successful and influential figure in Hollywood. She produced blockbusters like the Hunger Games franchise, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and Cinderella. Shermer had a long career as an executive and producer, overseeing countless hits. Olivia Cole, she was born in November 1942 and she died in January 2018. Her age was 75 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was heart attack. Olivia Cole was an American actress, best known for her Emmy-winning performance as Matilda, the mother of Chicken George, in the groundbreaking television miniseries Roots. She had a successful career in film, television, and theater, often playing strong and dramatic roles. Cole was a respected and talented performer. Bradford Dilman, he was born in April 1930 and he died in January 2018. His age was 87 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from pneumonia. Bradford Dilman was an American actor known for his role in film and television. He starred in the film Conboy and had a memorable part in The Way We Were. Dilman was also a prolific television guest star, appearing in numerous series throughout his career. Julius Lester, he was born in January 1939 and he died in January 2018. His age was 78 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Julius Lester was an American author, photographer, musician, and scholar. He was a prominent voice in the civil rights movement and later wrote books, both adult and children, including the award-winning To Be a Slave. Lester's work spanned multiple genres and disciplines, reflecting his diverse interests. Fredo Santana, he was born in July 1990 and he died in January 2018. His age was 27 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was cardiovascular disease. Fredo Santana, born Derek Coleman, was an American rapper from Chicago, a prominent figure in the drill music scene. He was known for his dark and gritty lyrics and was an instrumental artist in the genre. Fredo Santana's music helped define the Chicago drill sound. Bob Smith, he was born in December 1958 and he died in January 2018. His age was 59 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was ALS. Bob Smith was an American comedian and author, known for being one of the first openly gay comedians to appear on television. He wrote books like Way to Go Smith and was a prominent figure on LGBTQ comedy. Smith's humor helped break down barriers and stereotypes. Barbara Weil, she was born in 1933 and she died in January 2018. Her age was 85 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Barbara Weil was a German-American artist known for her abstract expressionist paintings, sculptures, and architectural projects. She was a prominent figure in the art world of Mallorca, Spain. Weil's work often explored themes of color and form with a focus on abstract beauty. John Conboy, he was born in March 1934 and he died in January 2018. His age was 83 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. John Conboy was an American television producer, best known for his work on daytime soap operas. He was a longtime producer for shows like As the World Turns and General Hospital. where he won multiple Daytime Emmy Awards. Conboy was a respected figure in the world of daytime television. Terry Evans. He was born in August 1937 and he died in January 2018. His age was 80 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Terry Evans was an American blues and soul singer, known for his powerful voice and his long collaboration with musician Ray Cooder. He sang on many of Cooder's albums and had a successful solo career. Evans was a respected figure in the blues world. Lynn Bolan. She was born in March 1941 and she died in January 2018. Her age was 76 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Lynn Bolan was an American television executive who made history as the first female vice president of daytime programming at NBC. She was a trailblazer in the television industry, credited with green-lighting shows like The Gong Show and Name That Tune. Bolan's career opened doors for women in broadcasting. Naomi Parker Freley. She was born in August 1921 and she died in January 2018. Her age was 96 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Naomi Parker Freley was an American war worker who was identified as a likely inspiration for the Rosie the Riveter cultural icon. A photograph of her working in a factory during the Second World War became a symbol of female empowerment. Her identity was a subject of historical research for years before it was confirmed. Edward C. Rochette. He was born in February 1927 and he died in January 2018. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Edward C. Rochette was an American numismatist and author who served as the executive director of American Numismatic Association. He was a respected expert on coins and currency. Rochette was a dedicated figure in the world of numismatists. Anthony Allen Shaw. He was born in June 1962 and he died in January 2018. His age was 55 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was execution by lethal injection. Anthony Allen Shaw was an American serial killer who was convicted and executed for the murders of 4 women and girls in Texas in the 1990s. He was known as a Texas Curious Killer. Shaw's crimes were a series of brutal attacks that horrified the Houston area. Harold Rosen. He was born in December 1925 and he died in January 2018. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Harold Rosen was an American lawyer and politician. Rosen first became acting mayor of Miami Beach, Florida in 1974 following the death of his predecessor, Mayor Chuck Hall, who died in office. Rosen ultimately served as mayor from 1974 to 1977 and is credited with beginning the revitalization of Miami Beach, notably by abolishing rent control in 1976, a move that was highly controversial at the time. Leslie White. He was born in April 1944 and he died in January 2018. His age was 73 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Leslie White was a New York City community activist and a longtime Harlem resident. He was known in Harlem as the Uptown neighborhood's honorary mayor. He liked being the Harlem mayor and is quoted in the New York Times as saying, "I'm the kind of guy who likes to be among the people." The position of Harlem mayor was started in 1947 by Reuben Clayton, who was the president of the Locality Mayors Committee of New York. John Spelman. He was born in December 1926 and he died in January 2018. His age was 91 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was pneumonia. John Spelman was an American politician who served as the governor of Washington. He was a Republican known for his moderate views and his focus on education and economic development. Spelman played a key role in the state's politics in the 1980s. John M. Andrist. He was born in August 1931 and he died in January 2018. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. John M. Andrist was a Republican politician who was a member of the North Dakota Senate for the 2nd District from 1993 to 2014. He sat on the board of the Medora Foundation, which aims at improving Medora, North Dakota. He was a Kivians member. He was also a recipient of the North Dakota National Leadership Award of Excellence. Ed Leforge, he was born in November 1935 and he died in January 2018. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart disease. Ed Leforge was an American politician who was a member of the Michigan House of Representatives from the 60th District between 1994 and 2000. Due to term limits, he stepped down and subsequently ran for the Senate in 2002, although his campaign was unsuccessful. Landram Berling, he was born in November 1913 and he died in January 2018. His age was 104 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Landram Berling was an American journalist, diplomat, and a noted pacifist who was a leading expert and activist for peaceful resolution of the Israel-Palestine conflict. He served as the president of Earlham College and was a prominent voice for peace and diplomacy. Berling was a dedicated advocate for international understanding and dialogue. James C. Brown, he was born in June 1935 and he died in January 2018. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. James C. Brown was an American computer scientist, a pioneering figure in the field of computer programming and software engineering. He made significant contributions to the development of early computing languages and systems. Brown was a respected scholar and professor. Wendel Castle, he was born in November 1932 and he died in January 2018. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was leukemia. Wendel Castle was an American designer and furniture maker, widely considered the father of art furniture movement. He created sculptural and imaginative furniture pieces that blurred the lines between art and design. Castle's innovative work had a profound impact on contemporary design. John Coleman, he was born in October 1934 and he died in January 2018. His age was 83 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. John Coleman was an American meteorologist and television host. He was the founder of the Weather Channel and the first weatherman on Good Morning America. Coleman was a well-known figure in television weather broadcasting. May Tesa, she was born in October 1928 and she died in January 2018. Her age was 89 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. May Tesa was an American politician who served as a district director for the Alaska Muscular Dystrophy Association in Anchorage, Alaska. In 1983 and 1984, Tesa served in the Alaska House of Representatives and was a Republican. Stansfield Turner, he was born in December 1923 and he died in January 2018. His age was 94 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Stansfield Turner was an American admiral and intelligence official who served as the director of the Central Intelligence Agency under President Jimmy Carter. He oversaw major reforms and reorganization of the agency. Turner was a respected figure in the national security. Harvey Oblau, he was born in November 1935 and he died in January 2018. His age was 82 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Harvey Oblau was an American attorney and business executive. He was the chairman of the board and former CEO of Griffin Corporation. He became a practicing attorney in New York in 1961 and in 1966 was the founding partner of the law firm Blau, Kramer, Wackler and Lehrman, P.C. in Jericho, New York. William Cousins, he was born in October 1927 and he died in January 2018. His age was 90 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. William Cousins was an American judge, a respected figure in the Illinois judicial system. He was the first African-American judge to hear cases at the Cook County Criminal Courthouse. Cousins was a trailblazer who broke barriers in the legal profession. Lafayette Duckett, he was born in February 1918 and he died in January 2018. His age was 99 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Lafayette Duckett was an American politician. He served as a Democrat member in the Texas House of Representatives from 1941 to 1947, representing Whitten County. He focused on banking and taxation law. Ed Moses, he was born in April 1926 and he died in January 2018. His age was 91 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Ed Moses was an American abstract expressionist painter, a prominent figure in the cool school movement of West Coast abstraction. His work was characterized by a focus on line and form. Moses was an influential artist and a respected figure in the art world. Arno Matulski, he was born in July 1923 and he died in January 2018. His age was 94 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Arno Matulski was a professor of medical genetics and genome science at the University of Washington. Matulski is considered a founder of the field of medical genetics. He is also considered the father of pharmacogenetics and is credited with coining the term. He was inducted as a member into the National Academy of Medicine, the National Academy of Science, and the American Philosophical Society. Jack Whitten, he was born in December 1939 and he died in January 2018. His age was 78 at the time of his death and the reason for his death were complications from leukemia. Jack Whitten was an American abstract expressionist painter known for his innovative techniques and his focus on the expressive potential of painting. He was a respected figure in the art world. Whitten's work was celebrated for its originality and depth. Henry Souls Jr., he was born in August 1935 and he died in January 2018. His age was 82 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was pneumonia. Henry Souls Jr. was a minister based out of Whitten, Illinois, who served as a senior chaplain for the Chicago Bulls for more than 30 years. His groundbreaking work in DuPage County helped establish more affordable housing options. Herbert Schmmerz, he was born in March 1930 and he died in January 2018. His age was 87 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Herbert Schmmerz was an American public relations executive known for his controversial and innovative op-ed advertisements for Mobil Oil. He was a prominent figure in the corporate world, known for his aggressive public relations strategies. Schmerz's work had a lasting impact on corporate communications. Kingdon Gould Jr., he was born in January 1924 and he died in January 2018. His age was 94 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was pneumonia. Kingdon Gould Jr. was an American diplomat, businessman, and philanthropist. A Republican businessman, Gould was appointed by President Richard Nixon to serve as a United States ambassador to Luxembourg, a position he would hold from 1969 through 1972. In 1973, Gould was appointed as ambassador to the Netherlands by President Nixon, serving until 1976. Julie Beth Loven, she was born in October 1945 and she died in January 2018. Her age was 72 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was heart attack. Julie Beth Loven was an American linguist and lexicographer. She worked on early speech synthesis at Bell Labs in Murray Hill, New Jersey. Loven also worked as a software engineer at various companies in Silicon Valley and served as a consultant for computational linguistics throughout the 1990s. As a consultant, she called her business The Language Doctor. Tyler Hilinsky, he was born in May 1996 and he died in January 2018. His age was 21 at the time of his death and he took his own life by gunshot wound. Tyler Hilinsky was an American college football player, a quarterback for Washington State University. He was a promising young athlete whose life was tragically cut short by taking his own life. Hilinsky's death brought attention to the mental health struggles of student-athletes. Jojo White, he was born in November 1946 and he died in January 2018. His age was 71 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from dementia. Jojo White was an American professional basketball player, a Hall of Fame guard for the Boston Celtics. He was a 7-time NBA All-Star and a key member of Celtics championship teams in the 1970s. White was known for his tenacious defense and leadership. Moose Tubing, he was born in March 1938 and he died in January 2018. His age was 79 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Moose Tubing was an American professional baseball player and manager who served as the interim manager of the California Angels. He had a long career in the professional baseball, mostly as a coach and manager. Tubing was a respected figure in the sport. Jerry Kaling, he was born in August 1939 and he died in January 2018. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Jerry Kaling was an American professional football player and college coach. He played as a quarterback for the Calgary Stampeders in the CFL and later served as a head coach at Oklahoma State. Kaling was a respected figure in football. Thomas Newman ONeal Jr., he was born in July 1928 and he died in January 2018. His age was 89 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Thomas Newman ONeal Jr. was an American judge who served on the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. He had a distinguished career on the federal bench. ONeal was a respected jurist. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.